Well, breathe deep, everyone, or maybe not today. Don't. I left mine all open. Okay, I am. Oh, well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Art with Liz here at the Hoboken Public Library, beginning as always with a major thank you to the Hoboken Library for allowing us to have these fantastic hybrid classes. Where else on the planet can you do art from the privacy of your home studio as well as here in person in the beautifully renovated Hoboken Library itself? We are launching into a new month. It is June 2025 here in Hoboken, and this is a month with many heritage celebrations. We are going to be looking at one of the groups that is honored in the United States, and that is Caribbean Americans. And in that vein, we will be starting with a Puerto Rican artist this month who is, I think, quite different. We've looked at some very different artists in the past, but this particular artist makes some of those artists look very different. But before we begin, one of our students here, Eileen, walked in with a beautiful quote that I would like to share with you. We don't have the attribution for this quote, however. We have no idea who wrote this, but it's just such a beautiful way to start our class. I want to read it quickly to everyone. It says, quote, "Artists illuminate beauty, open the doors of perception, and rebel against conventions. They invite us to do the same." And I don't know, we don't know who wrote this, but it really fits with the artists we're going to look at today. So thank you, Eileen, for bringing that in for us. And our artist for today is named Dara Rivera. She is a multidisciplinary artist. She holds a Bachelor of Arts from the University of Puerto Rico and a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Sculpture from Pratt Institute in New York. She attended the Whitney Museum Program for Young Artists in New York and continued her Master of Fine Arts Studies at Hunter College in New York. She pursued a year of postgraduate studies in public space. Who knew that was even a thing? At the University of Barcelona. And in the year 2000, Dara was awarded the Joan Mitchell Foundation grant. And we've looked at the work of Joan Mitchell. She was a terrific abstract painter. We looked at her just recently in March during Women's History Month. So we are going to start in a different way today. We've done this before, but we haven't in a while. We're going to look at a short video of one of Dara Rivera's pieces of art. It's a kind of documentary of the kind of work that she creates. So here we go. I'm going to try and share it with everyone. Sharing is not turned on. So give us a moment to activate sharing. Not a problem. Okay, good. It's not sure. I did open the thing I want to share, but it's not showing up. So hang on, everyone, a moment. Let me go back to my desktop and try opening it again. Oh, here we go. Susan, can you see the video on your screen? Okay, good. Here we go. So this is a documentary made by the artist Dara Rivera, Puerto Rican artist. Hope we can hear it. I have my volume turned off now. That was stupid. I have my volume back on. Volume's on here. There's no. Yeah, but there's nothing in the beginning of the video. Now the volume starts. You can hear, right? Susan, you can hear? No. Nothing, Susan.
Primero por la palabra.
Okay.
A mi madre le encantaba la poesía y siempre andaba declamando y nos recitaba muchos poemas.
You can all see the words, right? Oh, I can enlarge it a little. I think. No, that won't work. But I can.
La casa de mi tío tenía la cocina que se asomaba al río. Y de noche mi tío me decía, no le tengas miedo.
Better?
Óyelo, óyelo, que tú vas a oír que te va a cantar. Y era que cuando el río entraba, daba contra los zocos de la casa. Y eso era música. Yo siempre estaba por la orilla. Yo lo que quería era ir al agua y pescar. Y por eso abríamos camino hasta que llegábamos a la orilla. Y mira que había pesca, porque había pesca de sobra. A veces se colaba una tintorera y se quedaba atrapada al lado de acá. Y era un espectáculo ver cómo el mar invadía el río.
Contained oral histories. So glass spheres that contained stories of people who lived along this river in Puerto Rico. So inside these glass spheres, there are stories written by the people who live along this river. It's in Puerto Rico. This is a Puerto Rican artist.
Por ahí porque el río cruza frente a mi casa. Ha cambiado mucho, porque ha caído mucho sedimento de las construcciones de las fábricas alrededor. Y el río se ha llenado de sedimentos y se ha achicado, pero todavía sigue ahí.
So those spheres had nothing in them because this is a test run.
Pensar, no sé si es sueño, no sé si es imaginación, pero ¿qué es eso que hay en el fondo de ese río? Si tú pudieras drenar el río, si tú pudieras verlo oculto, a mí me asusta. A mí me asustaría ver el fondo del río cubierto por todo lo que arrastra.
I believe that's the artist. Now you can see. There are the stories. So just to recap, that is a major river in Puerto Rico that's being destroyed by factories along the river edge that are dumping toxic waste and sediment into the river, and the river is changing. It is shrinking because of this sediment that's being dumped, and the quality of the water, the ecology of the river is changing. And the artist is interviewing people who live along the river's edge and collecting their stories. And then, with the help of assistants and people involved in the project, they're writing those stories on fabric, putting them inside these glass spheres. The spheres were attached to the bamboo raft that they built and then floated on the river. And it took 6 hours for the raft with the glass spheres to travel back and forth over the river. And that's the type of conceptual, she is a conceptual artist, the type of work that she creates. I do have a slideshow of her work. A lot of her work is about an island in Puerto Rico called Gilligan's. This is not Gilligan's Island of TV, American TV fame, but Gilligan's Island, which is a small island off the southern coast of Puerto Rico that is a popular day trip, for snorkeling and barbecues, for school groups, tourists, and locals on vacation. But in 2018, the island was overrun by rats, and because they are attracted to the bones and refuse left behind by visitors, so it had to be closed for fumigation. And this affected Ms. Rivera so much that she started creating a body of work about garbage. And this, you will see in the slideshow, some of the work that she created about that. I don't want you to forget, though, the concept of oral history that she was using in the project on the river. So, oral history, the story of people who live in a particular space and time, because that's going to play a role in the project that I have for us today. Susan, if you could let me know, can you see? Thank you. So we're going to kind of whip through this slideshow quickly. I don't have enough information to talk about the specific pieces in this slideshow. I mean, I find them interesting to look at. I'm not sure I understand them or am able to talk about them in any, I know I'm not able to talk about them in any depth or detail, but I want to refer back to the quote that Eileen gave us. Artists illuminate beauty, open the doors of perception, and rebel against conventions. They invite us to do the same. And that seems to be apparent in some of Dara Rivera's work, particularly the work in this slideshow. So here we go at the slideshow. Her work is installation work. I guess you could call it sculpture because it's three-dimensional. Again, she's concerned with what human beings leave behind, the garbage that we create, what it does to the environment when we do leave it behind. As always, any comments, thoughts, or ideas, do you like or dislike? Always welcome. I feel it's my job to present artists who do new and different kinds of work for you to look at and think about.
Now, I'm having thoughts about art becoming new art.
Okay.
Like if you're, finding objects and recombining them, it becomes a new object. That's like old art becoming new art. And I can kind of think about connections to a documentary film that we just saw. Because
Okay.
the film itself is very mystical. It's a work of art in itself. It's based on her work of art with the spheres actually on the river. And it's kind of like we're taking our experiences as human species, our reactions to our experiences too, good and bad, and turning the good and bad into art and taking that into the future. So she's taking the oral histories, the experiences for people into the future by doing what she's doing.
Do you see it as hopeful work then?
I lean towards seeing optimism in all the terrible things that humanity does as it goes through the process of learning and evolving. It's not guaranteed that you have a good outcome, but I think I think there's a fair chance that things tend to improve over the long run. But we do learn from the mistakes, and that helps steer us towards where we really want to go.
Okay, thanks,
We
Ken.
realize rather.
Okay.
And it also makes me think about when historians look back at ancient art, did we really understand their motives, or are we projecting our cultural biases back into their art? So this film made me think, wow, if someone just came upon this, they could read the language, what would they think it was? Would they think it's a religious thing? What would they think it was? And it's not necessarily a religious thing in the conventional sense, but it's very mystical in a way. It's like
very interesting point of view.
Rest history and time into the future, making it part of the future itself.
Thanks, Ken.
In a way, I thought that you were kind of mentioned that when you call it new art, it's probably kind of like censorship or something like that.
Okay.
Because sometimes people, they like to, when they have kind of like something that is already done, and they usually replace something with new art to only hide.
Yeah, this is more incorporation or reincarnation or removal.
And you know me, I'm against any kind of censorship. So I was kind of like that. But then at last, I don't think you didn't mean, that new art is censorship.
No, it's not a replacement. It's it's like children from parents and grandchildren from the children.
And then that's
it's changed, but it's still still a part, an extension of the new form. So we're trying to preserve, but not freeze it, not censor the future, not censor the past.
Yeah, that's better.
Because it works both ways. Some people try to prevent the future from happening, and some people try to prevent the past.
That I agree.
So,
nice.
So there's a kind of, it's a search for inspiration or a new sense of wholeness and vitality.
Cool. And I invite you guys to continue the conversation.
Well, you have to be part of it. you have to inspire.
Well, I'm, of course, as always, sensitive to the time. So we have to keep enough time to be able to do our artwork. And you guys are having a wonderful, deep conversation. So let's continue. But let's keep going with the slideshow.
Can I say something?
Absolutely, Alice.
The first picture were sort of those things, but they were like legs sticking out.
Yes, they weren't real legs, by the way.
Like an arresting image.
Okay.
This, I'm sorry, it could be somebody's,
Warehouse.
yeah,
Okay.
garage or something. Yeah, well, anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, this is something about the fault of modern art. In which you just can't put anything there and they'll call it art.
Yeah, well, no, that's what I thought, because I looked at that first picture and I said, well, if they gave me those things to do, I wouldn't come up with anything arresting. And she did. She came up with the, whatever the hell it meant, but it was an arresting image, you know.
Okay.
So, but
Do you-
here,
Can I ask a
she's
question?
running-
If you were walking around and were in the presence of these things, do you think you might have a different feeling? No.
More,
Okay.
more or less.
Fair enough.
No, but I mean,
I mean, when you go to a garage, then things can be put almost like anything, anywhere. It could be kind of like a coincidence sometimes. Like, just like for example, whenever I clean, when I clean my room, I put stuff, you know, sometimes temporarily or something like that, and then my mother comes and then she begins to think that I am a filthy guy just because I keep things, you know, and that is all.
Yes. All right.
Yeah, it is harder to relate to. You know, it's like, is it random or intentional? With the first image with the legs, you know that's intentional and you have a reaction to it. Here, you're kind of trying to think, what is my reaction? I mean, maybe that's the intention. I don't know.
Could be. I'm relating it back to her concerns about the environment, the destruction of industry.
But you kind of have to know the front.
Yes.
Walking into
And as I said, I don't have enough information about these particular pieces of art
Can you
to help
find-
us.
And also, I think it could work better if you could see it in a perspective instead of just finding a relation with it yourself.
I think, yes, if we were there in person, it might have a different impact.
They almost look like snails crawling along.
They do look like snails.
So the other one in the picture, I had a little bit of a naughty mind.
Yes.
I want to stick with antenna, but
yeah.
not antenna.
Yeah, they
Like-
did
like-
look
like-
like snail skins.
Find weird things to stick in them.
They did.
Let's-
I'm not sure about this piece, but I think it might be made from the mud of that river. I'm not sure.
So these look like
These are chickens. These are definitely chickens. All right, I want to go through quickly now. I'm loving the discussion we're having. I have no idea what these pieces are. Might be detritus from the river that we were just looking at in the documentary.
One of them looked like that wolf sheep.
Could be.
But the shapes, the ovals and the colors and the textures, they're very compelling.
Okay, Robin's finding it compelling.
yeah, it's framing them, and somehow it turns into round things that could be garbage into art.
Right.
Yeah,
When you
Yeah.
frame it, it becomes decorative. Interesting. Enough.
The picture, there is not enough of a good quality of a picture to kind of tell.
yeah, well, that's
The picture is not good. That is true. And it's not just because I've enlarged it, but I think it's just not good. All right, moving right along. These look like types of water animals, sea creatures.
I think they're kind of dark.
I read about this. It said that
Look it over there.
I'm sorry, Eileen read about this. Excuse me, Daniel. Eileen has something to add.
touch these dead things, animals, and she took them apart and put them back together into something different.
Okay, cool.
I kind of remember that. You want to look that up on. Just doesn't look like anything recognizable.
Now, Robin, you used the word compelling. I find these shapes compelling and interesting.
Yeah, and the color.
And the color's pretty incredible.
I don't know all about what they are and what she did and that stuff, but just looking at it, it's the shapes and the relationship. Yeah, I agree. It's creepy. I think it's creepy.
Eileen thinks it's creepy.
And could you rotate that picture? A little?
Not in the slideshow, I cannot, no.
But if you see it at least like this, you'll see something. You'll have more precision to it.
I think you're right. All right, let's keep going. This is not the sphere project that we were looking at before. This is a different sphere project. I think this photo is quite beautiful. She definitely has a connection with water. And this one too. Very interesting. All right, I think this is the last slide. Even if you don't like her work, I think it would be interesting to look further into what she does. Oh no, this is the last slide. This one I personally love. I have no idea what's going on in this image. I am an artist who uses fabric in her work. It looks like stacks of folded material, and that really attracts me to it quite a bit. I like the way it looks. I wish I could see it in person so I could walk around it, and I don't know if she allows people to touch it. I would hope so, but I'm guessing probably not. Maybe there are the oral history stories on those strips of fabric.
You know, if you hadn't mentioned fabric, I think it's clay.
Could be clay, but I'm pretty sure it's fabric because you can see the threads hanging off of it.
It's oral histories and layers.
Yeah, layers of history and thought, and
Really reminds me of everything.
kind of like stacks of books.
Like I was thinking about stack of mattresses.
Uh-huh.
How you heard that fairy tale of the Princess and the Pea?
Oh,
Yes. Oh, well, and back to the mattresses we were looking at, Daniel. Nice reference. The Princess and the Pea. All right. So I like that she's mysterious and enigmatic. I really like the documentary. I hope it was interesting to all of you. And I'm going to stop the share now. I invite you during this class to talk further amongst yourselves. Oh, no, there's one more.
Hello, fish.
So this is a painting. She does do these things. We call this anthropomorphizing, where she mixes animals with human attributes. Yeah, this one to me is creepy.
Yeah.
But maybe this is where she thinks evolution is leading us.
It's not anthropomorphic. It's not.
Well, I guess you're right, Daniel, because that's more about behaviors, putting human behaviors onto animals. It's
If you want a little bit more anthropomorphic, you can probably give it kind of like more physical appearance, not like in this one, yeah, he looks like a fish, but if you give it kind of like, for example, gill or fin or something like that.
see, to me, it looks like a bird.
He looks like a common fish.
Okay. All right, I'm pretty sure this is the last slide. I do love this for visual impact and artistry. I think the colors, the shapes are very cool. I love the red background. It definitely has an impact. And I seem to have lost my mouse, but there we go. I'm going to stop the share. And I don't want to spend more time on discussion at this point. We can talk throughout the class, but I'm conscious of the time. I want to have a lot of time to have fun creating our own artwork today. So Dara Rivera, I hope she's got our mind working on ideas. And here is my suggestion for our work today. I have brought in wood glue, different bits and pieces of junky stuff, cardboard, paper, pencils, and Uniball pens. My idea for today is for you to think of a little bit of your own oral history. Maybe it's a story a grandparent told you, or a sibling, or a cousin that resonates with you. Maybe it's something you've read about your past or your ancestry. Somehow incorporate it into a found art sculpture. You could write it on a strip of paper. You could write it on directly on a block of wood. You could put it out front so everyone could see it. You could conceal it within the body of the sculpture so it's hidden. That would be my thing. But make something three-dimensional, or you could do what is called bas relief. We've talked about that before, where you have a flat surface, but things project outwards. Questions? I would recommend you start with the flat cardboard for your base, whether you build up or you create a bas relief, you need a flat base. There is wood glue to use. Please be careful when you pour it. And there are craft sticks for applying the glue to stick things together. I see that some people did read my email and they brought in their own stuff. If you're willing to share, great. Otherwise, there's stuff that I brought in that you can use. It's not as much stuff as we usually have. I've got to go back to Michael's and buy more goodies. All right, no questions? People here have already gotten up and started moving. Some folks look a little bemused. Take a minute to think. Oh, we're waiting for the crowd to die down. You're smart. I personally like the idea of this project. Sally, let me come talk to you because this is probably not making any sense to you at all.
Life and death. So he finally finds his heart. I've been such very so sinful. That so streamlined. Oh, fascinating. I didn't make it. I looked at the flow of the voice of everything. The father. Because the father was like hanging out in the room. They left me there too. Oh, you kind of drive. Yeah, it was fascinating. Starting to see different things, different cultures, and other things.
Would it help to put up a picture of whatever?
And this is
All right, folks at home, I'm putting up a picture for inspiration. I love this picture. Dara Rivera from Puerto Rico. I am really excited and curious to see what people create. Those of you who are here, if you would like to copy this drawing, you may, but I've only brought pencils and Uniball pens for drawing today. I'm going to step out for a minute to get some more water. Don't forget to hydrate on this hot, hot day. Found objects. You're basically pulling stuff together today. Whether I was Did it rain? Well, I didn't get your rain. So it just rang and rang and rang and then it stuck. Yes. Okay, Laura, I'm gonna do it. Wait a minute, I gotta find it. Okay. I think you were able to. Thank you. Yeah, where are you standing? Oh, it's forward. Oh, wait, your voice. Oh, okay, well, that's all right. So got through. Okay, but it didn't ring. I don't know. I don't know that. You got your volume up? Maybe I turned it down. I don't.
Okay. It's very strange. It's just this year. Base. Really need to get this. I wanted to show you the number of choice. Part of the world is. Yeah. Well, the story about herself. Somewhere in this. Well, just let me get down there. I'll get this everything out of it.
I have a pretty set.
Okay.
Susan, are you there?
Okay.
Not seeing you. I bet you love that the river documentary. All of a sudden, my phone doesn't recognize me.
Trouble. I can't get my not to work. Because I had trouble. Remember you had a call for me last time I was here.
Yes.
And I'm going to my doctor's who's right next to AT&T. And Laura and I can't get my phone not to work. And your
That's
phone is
interesting.
here. Life is perverse.
No, technology is perverse.
Also, it was created by people.
People are perverse. You won't get any argument from me on that. Come on. I did get the scissors sharpened.
Yeah, no, it's okay. You're speaking my name and
Oh.
my name.
The book show that I'm in at Mana Contemporary has been extended. I'm happy to say I'm going to be in a group show at Sears Gallery in New York City. I think it opens soon. I still don't know the exact dates. I'll let you know. Maybe by next week, I will have twigged on to when the dates are. Just a reminder for my Tuesday art students, do not come next Tuesday. It's voting day. Our art classroom is bowling. Our bowling team. Am I in your valley? Yes, I am. Thank you, Sally. Maybe one of my 3 votes. I put a whole. You can vote at City Hall, vote early.
Yes.
Nice little sculpture. Going. This kind of creativity, although it may not seem like it, really wakes up your brain. Keeps your brain active no matter what your age is. You are problem solving. May not be improving those traditional skills that you all want of drawing and painting, but it is improving your cognitive thinking skills and in a fun way.
You could put a ball. Ball, yeah. A ball? No, ball.
Oh, a ball.
Yeah.
I can go ahead.
We'll leave it in the middle, first.
Okay, yeah, okay.
You know, I'm pretty busy with a lot of payload stuff with mine. It didn't come for the last 2 weeks. My mother is here and she comes. Friday.
Where's your mom live? Oh, okay.
We were kind of getting ready for our anniversary of my aunt, so.
Oh.
I was very busy. I'm saying, yeah, the last couple of weeks. And additionally, I was leaving. But yeah.
Yeah.
They pop.
Maybe we just. Maybe. There's page, I don't find. Wow. You'll find something. Love these. Very good. Oh, and it was anywhere. They smart. All that. For us. Whoa. Yeah, I don't think anyone would complicate themselves too much. They just do pencils.
My dad was a Virginian, and he came from Cuba. And one of his best childhood friends, who unfortunately came down and later in life, he had to get one of those stainless so easy. Now, that little kind of things. He always said this design would be strong and would be better. But anytime anyone could do this, because I was there, it would be better. And that was his signature design. It was the back switch. Yeah. You know, that's my railing. That's my railing. To them. Off from her chair, she did. That was his signature, because my mom's house had their wall on it. It was great. This is my railing.
Thank you so much. Making my day today.
Thank you.
Oh, looks like Susan had to leave. Too bad. So we have a good almost 30 minutes left to work. More actually. We have almost 40 minutes to work. I'm forgetting we got to 12:30.
One of her children.
Which is the
That's trying to create other people. But she always has a. Not well, but treats him the same as the other. That's a good. Thank you. Might have been. I'll give us some jazz food. You can do whatever. You know, wherever you're on. No, I'm staying my family. I'm trying to connect. First of all. Lots of people, I forgot. Actually, it was the first time that I moved on home. It was really, and I was able to reflect on it and refresh on it. And that's all right, you know, but then I came here. And where is the friend going? Disaster. It's coming to the spirit. Yeah. That's as big as it. I use that. I mean, I was thinking about, I have a lot. Out of it, I want. I used to jump. As I left, what happens? Do you have any?
Yeah, that's everywhere. I had $800 by the following month. I go to Europe again. Where? Yeah, and then.
I took the easy way.
Saw that I couldn't
You know,
a
you.
little bit.
I don't remember the man. I was thinking.
I did. I
That's down. Black. Yeah. But then something about where the thing is.
Yeah.
What?
I was just really like,
Right.
So. I have not looked at it, but I did it just a less. I never go read it. I think, yeah, I think that not really, like, not wrong.
Let's get something on. Oh,
I'm in Singapore, like Cambodia. A trip. I think Singapore is all. Where am I in Hong Kong? I actually was kind of had a little bit of everything. Just some. I also like very last minute.
Oh.
Doing on 5. We like very it was a new year.
Oh, okay, I like that. Yeah. So Eileen just reminded me that in the email I sent, said the project would be about something to remember that a disaster that we could.
Oh,
It's like insanity, I think, was the example of the national disaster. That, you know, we're all one person or else.
Could do another one.
You know, you do another.
1942 hurricane.
Yeah, and 1940, that was the worst.
That was the worst, yes, and
I remember that.
Well, rushed to the side and that's her in New York.
I remember that. It was the massive flood at that too.
Actually, all I remember was that I was lovely down in it. And my other having told me and my brother. inside, and then. No, nothing. Over.
I was back home too.
Yeah.
I don't even put you know, I wrote an essay about my experience from hurricane, that hurricane. You never try phrase to start writing, well, if that one fails, and you gotta remember it.
No,
Where were you?
no, I'll say, when it's in 2 weeks for New Jersey State, yeah, we know where next week for the winter. See you later.
I guess. When I was 8, when I visited her. 8 or 9, yeah, I had been with her and she like, yeah, you and Treva.
It wasn't so bad. I mean, it was worse. No, I mean, think about it. In high school, I said. Parked it like the year before. Long Beach Island.
I wouldn't have happened, but I got all the emotion. Yeah, I think we would want to.
Yeah, it wasn't so bad. But it was so bad. All the trees were all over the place.
Yeah.
The tree song again. I would go out after our line.
Yeah, take the tree.
It didn't.
It's a track record.
Yeah, no, I know.
So
I gotta hold it for my cool.
maybe I just need to. This is probably not the best way for me. So,
Or 7, I said it's in the last.
that almost I bet almost cool for the guy.
That's what I used.
Oh, 40.
And I always stick it like in the corner of my counter, so it stays in one position. You know what I mean? It's like a throw from my favorite little. Really.
I have those, yes.
It'll be easy.
Teddy,
I never go to, next door before, in summer, and one like, how come you used to be disturbed? About the same life, but it's already sort of like a month. Yeah, you probably, you better go check it out.
I have to use one then. I have a bunch of them.
No, I want to make it skirts.
But I.
We're rolling.
Yeah, I got the gold and 5 gold. Some of them are like, she's the weird games.
Yeah, well, you know, I go to selling books. It's a great one because it's and there's a lot of things and couches and. There's a lot of.
They're, I can put it back and I'm gonna need to put it back in the binder paper. Yeah, some of them are so.
I don't need that many. I'm only having 3 more classes, but like I said, I'm going to see the stories. There's also a bunch, you know, there's photography. So I'm like, because I don't want to see. You know, it's a whole lot. Money is fabric in the middle.
I'll have you like, first one.
So after, you know what I mean?
We wanna have like a folder here too.
We could use the wedges. Okay. You know, we create, that's what we do. I see something on it. Actually, no, I'm not here, I never know how to wear it. Unfortunately, but and snaps. So I cut the snaps and I found out when you make a mistake yourself, then you zigzag.
Exactly.
Yeah. A zigzag. That's what you yeah. Zigzag. Stitches on it, zigzag.
Yeah, I didn't see any of the fabrics, and I wanna get into sewing and everything.
They have a makerspace here.
Oh, they do?
On the summer.
No, so they have,
Yeah.
oh, my friend, I'm actually, we're gonna bring her some, that in my room, but she.
Yeah, well, I have one of those little tiny ones, $60. You know, but I go to classes with like where we get ideas and no, I learned in our book up, I can say, you know. We have 3 more classes.
Oh, I have a library.
At the library, it's really nice in the house and saying, but that's really.
Yeah, so I mean.
If you have to be a resident, I have no, like here, but I asked before, you know, I was a resident, you use them.
And then make your cases.
Yeah, I'm very. One time we asked, I have a lot of dresses from the 70s, and I'm gonna reinforce the seams. You know, don't be, you do, if you have something.
Yeah, I have, they're in the back.
Yeah, like I said, you don't have to self-carry too much, and I gotta miss it. All right, so it's not very.
No, it's like, I kinda didn't know. They're so good,
I have it, I mean, if you use the page case.
It just bring your friend.
They probably have bottles.
Leaning up their lead. You still have a lot of time.
It's something like this. Well, my dad was a bricklayer, so there was still a minute.
I haven't really figured out.
Yeah, but today, like I said, I wanna go. I talked back to me now. It's Saturdays and it hasn't been in Superman. They have the flag shop. I've got to see through it. Things that then. Precious moment.
Yes. Yeah, the college.
So this is in church and the lady. That's applied to.
Oh, yeah, the church started to sign up.
And then.
Oh, Susie. What, you're gonna do, yeah.
Got 2 dresses for $1.
Does he get a piece of paper and everything?
Thank you for thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool, thank you. Not too much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes,
Please.
Stop it, behave. Be good.
She sent her back to where she came from. What she go to?
If I have two friends that are in depressed, you know, what do they do?
No, you get a piece of paper, right?
I'll see if you can get a friend.
Bad.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think we actually did some of the information. Yeah. They say they want friends.
I know.
I think that was great. Let out underneath all my stuff.
That's what I say. I say,
Stick out the story.
Yeah.
Now that she's the.
I see a mother with group children, and one child who's just not well, but she treats him the same as his brother. Yeah, I was really saying to her,
Last,
I just was his savage of that, you have to take the trowel. So there's a wall in my town that he didn't have sleep. So when I feel feeling and I was so bad, I was there today, it was a job. And his friend was in, so if you can't go pay me, you just go back and do it. It reminds me of ours.
or any other.
No, you just reach out. The Maddie's little home.
Oh, those are, I'm
You never have to apologize.
First one, I don't think that I can over. He just turned about 50 years. I heard. That's good. We just have to take the power. Just good. Try to get it over it. They don't laugh at her. That's all we need. I think a couple of years. You know, and like that. We also that's 45 years old and upload it. Second week I must have been out there like feet. That was the best.
Well, it's pretty awesome. Yeah, it's amazing.
I heard my mother was she's coming. She's going back on Friday. Like Randy, she's gonna turn 101.
Wow. And she's here?
Yeah. Since when in the bed?
The wedding next week. Must love around. Both your mother and.
Yeah, I like get out of it.
All mothers can get a little bit nasty sometimes.
You have to be through. I want the problems. That's tough. Anyway, or sometimes she does clean your. But sometimes you have stuff to do, and when she comes, and she gives you the worst.
Yeah. You've never done that. I never called my son a slob. Maybe I should have.
How much of them?
The way I did it was, this is your room, just close the door.
But I had my nephew come with me and I said, I don't care what your room looks like, just anything we share, like the bathroom, kitchen,
Yeah, right, have to be. That's where you're gonna look, I mean.
Oh, close the door.
Well, my other stipulation was if anything living started to move in. You were responsible for it. And we used to clean some show. Really, boats and things. And I wanted to paint them today, but so we're going up. It's just.
Yes, I said this down.
Also,
Hundreds and one.
oh, wow.
My birthday was Christmas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So with the boss, I have to meet more.
She lived in your mom.
She lived in Ecuador. She definitely mother.
People love.
Oh, okay.
She definitely lived in one of my aunts also.
Oh, okay.
They're not gonna do anything either, they're just gonna make some.
Well, that's very-
Crap fries.
Oh, okay.
How much time do we have left? So we have about, I don't know, 10 minutes. We want to share today, I think, right? Because everyone's made something with a story behind it. So I'm going to give us 10 minutes till sharing, and then we're going to have to clean up. We seem to have lost all of our folks at home, unfortunately.
I don't know. My grandmother.
So I brought a couple of things from home that I made. Is that okay to show that along with my kids today?
Of course. Of course. I may have to cut you off at some point in order to give everyone time to share, okay? Ken, I noticed this is very clever what you did to hold that. It also has blue tape. I didn't want to share that with everyone. People would overuse it.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll lend you some. Put it on and then take it off. I just like this.
The coastal elites, right? They didn't call that then, they just.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look, I'm not-
Yeah.
Needs to be on the stage.
And she comes in the information. It was so. That she said. Yeah. You know. Donated to shelters. Dogs, cats, whatever it's been, it's like since they were with us, without even And she's in Florida.
This is the West Side.
Dad was such a consistent guide for business school. And we were all running all that hair like this.
Oh, okay, we're.
As opposed to me, his father, or her grandfather, and the other.
Start finishing up, you want to argue. Already cleaned up.
We finished that.
I think this was us, well, that, yes. That's for my stuff,
But the thing about the. And then we went out. Very young.
Do something as soon just to get my. It's gonna be carry on.
No, they're not over there.
Can you take a picture?
Yeah.
Oh, you right. I would take a picture, so I live in Massapequa.
All people that are born in 18 back.
Sarah. Yeah, I don't know why, but look. Okay, Lindsay, goodbye. There are no.
This is just a model. Well, this is from when I was 2 years old. I learned stuff.
I like this.
Oh, 60. Oh, I'm gonna need to do one. Oh, yeah.
Good luck, you will be here later.
Yeah, in 30 years.
Oh,
When it started working, I'm frozen.
but you're not.
No, not right now.
But it's definitely.
I don't know why I'm having this in progress.
I actually put that water. This joint.
I didn't put enough.
Right, good luck. See you next week, not Tuesday.
Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what I. No, actually. I started. When you choose the new school in the city, in late third, I went to entry studios. I have to learn.
Yes.
City of bands. I've done it so much. I didn't realize. Just I love it. Same.
Ladies, you're not gonna share? You don't
You
wanna share what you made? Charlie, stay and share. If you wanna go with your friends.
creating.
They're on to yoga. They're on to yoga.
I work with this. I have an internship. I've done so
All right, Sharon, Randy.
Stories.
I have a whole. The whole thing. Whole nine thing. It's like this.
Like the stories from.
I have any of the 24. Now I'm in my 70s. I don't want, I got a bad response, so I don't know if it's yoga practice. Instagram, just talk. I'm the plan right, I will just.
All right, attention everyone. Who's gonna share first?
Simple.
I'm gonna stop this share. And let's let Daniel go first. You haven't had that opportunity for a long time.
The big screen.
Mine,
I call this piece natural corpses.
Natural one.
Corpses.
Do you want to explain more about what's going on?
I just reminded me of a very dirty and stinky swamp that is on my city, birth city.
Where is that usually?
Ecuador
Oh.
is it's a place called Estero Salado, but this was you should say kind of like a swamp, but I remember mostly that it was very polluted and very stinky, and something that affected the fauna sometimes, and well, that kind of just made me just abstract of it could have been a little bit more complex, but I got limited resources on that one, so I had to take out of the box. Normally I don't like to be that kind of person because I despise being I despise activism. I just want to do what I want.
David, I had difficulty because I had hearing loss.
It's Daniel.
But I
Just
see a wonderful river with wonderful flowers floating down it and trees by the side. And
it's supposed to be. That was last minute thing. I just wanted to make kind of like better strong,
It's very comforting. It's very pleasing. It's very inviting.
and it failed. And by the way, it's Daniel, not David.
And Daniel,
Mhm.
when I saw you were gonna use the googly eyes, I almost said, please don't use them because I love it without them.
Well, the intention.
Now I'm so thrilled to see them. They really work in the.
Well, my intention was to showcase the dead fish. My intention was kind of like the dead fish.
I see. Bravo, Daniel. Shirley. Show us what you create. Want me to help you? Want me to hold it for you, Shirley?
That should be okay. You understand it here?
Yeah, be careful of all the wires.
No, I want to.
Right, I love this. Can you also turn it sideways?
Which way?
Rotate it this way.
And she put a message on it? Wow.
Show it from all sides.
Thank you.
Beautiful. And you put a message on the heart?
No, it was there when
Oh, was it?
It's a beautiful structure. My favorite part is the split here and the way Shirley attached that to the top of the heart shape. Well done. Very nice.
Thanks, everyone.
Still stick together because I doubt that the Elmer glue is that strong.
Obviously it is. Because that's all we had to use today. Do you think yours is gonna hold together, Sally, if you hold it up? Let's try. Yeah, hold it up. Oh, Shirley, thank you. Thank you for sharing. Very nice. Be careful walking home with that.
I'm not sure, because I kind of.
I don't know, maybe Greek Orthodox? Yeah, it does look like a Greek Orthodox cigarette. Sally, what did you tell me this was?
I just make some beautiful bird, but that's not enough. I hope my background that's golden. Then this colorful, that's good for my granddaughter.
You're gonna love it.
Just my mind.
Very nice.
You are confident. Yes, the prayer.
Oh, Robin, are you gonna, Alice, are you gonna share?
I'll share it because
Go ahead, Robin. Sally, thank you for sharing. You what?
Okay. I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
further away.
Yes.
Okay, this is a fact.
It is, Sally. All right, let's let Robin.
Okay, this is something that's been in my house forever. I picked it up because I liked the way it looked. And today I brought it to use it, but I didn't know how. And then I started pulling it so that it, and I think there's more work to do, but I see that there's a whole lot of expression, you know, coming out if I pull out these things. And so I'll continue working on it, but
I love it. Wow.
it became something other than what it was before, and it's a little more work.
Which is what I think our artist, Dara Rivera, is all about, taking everyday things and turning them into other.
Yeah. So thanks.
I love it.
That journey along the river, that was almost like, I don't know, I just made me feel so wonderful. Those balls gone.
Yeah, absolutely love the whole concept of that piece, the way it looked. It moved me,
Yeah.
emotionally.
Yeah. What, you know, all those people's stories, and
Yes.
it's such a beautiful setting.
The only thing I wish it had not been conveyed by a motorboat. I would have loved to have seen it pulled by a tour.
Obviously, instead of watching the video, why don't you go feel it yourself? I mean, that's the best way to.
Buy me a ticket, I'll go.
That's the best way. You know, instead of looking for a video.
Absolutely. No argument for me.
Yeah.
I would love to see it.
there.
Yes. I mean, do you have anything you want to share?
Well, I'm gonna say that Sally had a more developed idea than I had, but remember I started out with the alternating colors of feathers? That was my opinion.
So you are back after a long time away, and you're starting to wake up the creative part of your brain.
Exactly.
Next week, you'll do a little bit more.
Good for you.
Good.
Good for you.
Thank you for coming back.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yeah, bravo.
One day that I chose not to have to go to the physical therapy or anything. I
Bravo.
wanted to be able to come back home. Good for you.
Hey, it's a big step.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. Thank you. Tomorrow. See this
That's beautiful, yeah.
really original piece.
Very nice. Very nice. Wow. Oh, wow. Oh,
Can you turn it upside down? And what did you tell me this was about? Laura? I love
I don't know, maybe garbage in the lake and in the bank of the river, something. Yeah.
garbage in the bed of the river.
Wow.
Very nice.
It's a white paper.
Yeah, these are nice.
It's glued on.
Yeah, right.
She
Yeah.
has a lot of patience as an artist.
Yeah,
You don't have tomorrow.
It's nice how she puts the scrap.
She uses scraps that she cut out. Reduce, reuse, recycle, bravo.
It also helps relate to it's a
And it helps with the composition because it mirrors the shapes. It's beautiful. Thank you, Tamara. All right, Diane, you're next.
Well, my dad, who was born in Hoboken, and make a long story short, he was a bricklayer. And this was his signature style. He used to take the trowel, put cement on it, and pull it back. And when I was in my, I guess, late 40s, he did a job for his childhood friend that he was also from Hoboken. And to make a long story short, the man had ALS. So it was a day of my memory because it's like 3 blocks from my apartment. And when I need to speak to daddy, I go there. It's like my wailing wall. And, but he had that signature with the trowel. I mean, you knew it was John's work. So, but the memory of that just brings me back to that beautiful summer day like today and the smile on Angelo's face that I took the time to spend with him, my dad's childhood friend. So it's a beautiful memory. And thank you for letting me share.
Wow.
Yeah, but this was his signature. This
Right.
way. The backhand John. It was.
Wonderful piece of art.
Thank you.
Funny observation. When you put it up, when you put it on the way you are oriented, it kind of looks like metal, but when you put it upside down, it looks like mountains.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying, Manstown. Yeah, he used to design, but he taught me a lot of things. I fixed a lot of things in my own apartment just by watching my dad. As a kid, it's really,
Right.
it's amazing. And you're the daughter of a construction worker. Am I allowed to show my other 2 pieces?
Sure.
Just
beautiful, Diane.
Thank you. I
Talk about
From
art
here-
warming.
I go to my public library in North Bergen because I'm a North Bergen resident and I do research and this is my interpretation of Cubism. Hold on. Picasso, Cubism. I had a spare earring that I lost the other one, so I threw the earring on there.
Love.
And just a dollar store frame,
Great.
just a dollar store frame. And also,
Great shapes, great colors. And
thank
I
you.
love the earring.
yeah, I had it was just laying there. And I was very fascinated. I went to see Last Tango in Paris because of all the hubbub that was said. So I wanted to
Yes,
see
it's very
this
fun.
this scene of which this poor girl, it ruined her life. It wasn't scripted. She was basically raped she had a terrible life. Her name was Maria Schneider. And I saw the film Being Maria, which also was made of her life story. And her cousin Vanessa, who's a journalist in France, wrote a book about her. It's called My Cousin Maria Schneider. Her life just fascinated me. But towards the end, in France, she was given a Lifetime Achievement Award because she was one of the first voices of female Me Too movement because of what she had to experience
So,
as a young actress.
so she's another one of those people who say that men are horrible. We should all.
No, you had to see the film.
Men are.
No, you had to see the film to know what she basically went through.
No, not at all. Not at all.
That's what the movement is. It's about telling.
Right, but it's not what the movement is.
About me.
No, it was-
So we can discuss this, Dan, and we can talk about it once class, so not,
But thank you for letting me share.
of course, guy. Beautiful art. Beautiful.
Yeah, her life just was so tragic. So sad. That.
Oh.
All right. It's okay. Okay. So when I was a kid growing up, long time ago, we didn't have a, oh yeah, it was 1960s, 1970s. Yeah, we didn't have very much, so I was always like picking up leaves and sticks and stuff and finding things to make things. So I thought these pieces of wood kind of reminded me of organic stuff. So I decided to make a scene with like a mommy worm and a baby worm and a bunch of mushrooms. And I'm leaving this one wiggly. Yeah. Although, yeah, she was seeing this bottle as a sick child that the mommy was taking care of, and then the brothers on the side. But she's treated them with just the right amount of attention.
Worms. Garbage.
Because that was my world, just like I'm in this urban landscape with no toys, so I started making my own toys. So here's a couple of things that I made a long time ago. So there was this shop in Canal Street where they sold like pieces of hardware for God knows what reason. So I don't know, get the whole thing in. But I bought these copper washers and these weird sticks that they had, I don't know before. And I made this kind of toy, like you could sort of swing it, and eventually it becomes like a pendulum, and you can make sounds with it. And I just sort of hang this like on my bookcase. So that's also, it's slight industrial, but trying to work that with the natural feeling of the twine and of organic kind of feeling. Because of what?
Daria Rivera, our artist.
No, this I made a long time ago,
Oh, okay.
but I just wanted to show that.
And
Yeah.
could you put that from the middle piece and let the big thing on the top hang down with the other things, just to look and see what it is. And hold it up here when you want.
Oh, that's awesome. Very.
Yeah. That's it. And that might hit against the.
Yeah. So if it was like in a doorway or a window, it'd be like wind chimes. Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, I remember Canal Street had a lot of little shops.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Very good.
Okay.
Why do you want to take it?
So there's a little box, cardboard, and I have these. I don't know what they are. I guess they're whetstones. So I bought them in the shop, and I wrap wire around it, and then I brush charcoal over it. But my thought was, this is my concept for a book. Just because there's multiples of these rectangular shapes. Yeah, non-verbal book.
Nice.
So that was my book theme. And I'll show you another book thing, also from the little hardware odds and end shop.
Wow.
Pieces of metal, a hinge. I glued it together, and a little wire that I bent into a spiral.
Good.
So that goes in my bookcase as well. And finally, yeah, I was
That's great.
I was creative as a child.
That's great.
So here's another cardboard box. Yeah, I haven't done stuff like this in a very long time, but this is back then. So the same shop on Canal Street, they had these copper triangles. Let's see, do I have? Yeah, they had these copper triangles. I have no idea what these are for. that they have holes in them.
You can make the Illuminati.
And they had these copper spiders. It's a wrong number of legs because they put 6 instead 8 copper spiders. So I was,
Put the spider in the middle of the triangle, you get something.
yes, I did. So I bought all that, and I'm still doing the book idea. So I made a spider web book.
Oh, wow.
So it's a pendant.
You deserve a. an award for that. This is really, wow.
So through the holes, I took some steel wire, and I made spider webs on each page of this book. And the last one has a little dime in there, and the front has the spider. And this?
Yeah.
Oh, this must be in the 1980s. And then I didn't do more sculptures after that.
So now you're tapping back.
Make more of those. Yeah,
Very good.
and you gotta call it a day.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Rob, oh, what a cool class today. Awesome. So to all those people out there in YouTube land and Zoom land, Art On, thank you for coming.
Thumbs up.
I will see you next Wednesday for more Art with Liz. Bye-bye, everyone. Be safe. Take care. Correct.